it looks like, from all intents and purposes, that the young man called the whistleblower by the name of Snowden probably has a link to Pastor Dow's YouTube channel, and he's taking my advice. He has left China, and he is in some type of transit system in Russia. Because if you go back to my videos, I told him the safest place for him is Russia. Now, the hypocrisy of the United States is amazing to me. Think about this for a second. These bootlickers, they call China a communist country, yet we are in bed with that communist country. As a matter of fact, we are so much in bed to them, we are in trillions of dollars of debt to them, and every time we have an economic problem, we run to the thing that we're trying to sell to the American people as the evil empire. We can't stand them, we hate them, but then we're in hot to them to the tunes of trillions and trillions and trillions of dollars. Use your mind there a little bit. And I know it's going to be a painful thing to do, but put a defibrillator on it, use it, and understand what I'm trying to say. Here we are, supposed to be against communism, and yet every time you turn around, we're going to communism to help us out. It just don't make sense, do it? So Snowden, it's amazing. If they were so communist, then why does he flee to a communist country for protection against a so-called righteous country who they know, everybody knows. You know, I think these psychopaths up in government, I think they are the only ones, along with the American news media, that believe they're bull. And, of course, they know that the majority of the American people are on high fructose corn syrup, Ritalin, Prozac, mercury, chlorine, fluoride, and it's easy to manipulate and control these people who have become voluntarily in their life dumb, dormant, docile, demoralized, and demonized mindsets of a people in this country. So, and now you watch the senators, the chicken hawks. They all going to start trying to demonize Putin. Now you got to understand, Russia is not worried about the United States. And I got another personal question my own self. How does a broke country, are y'all listening to me? How does a broke country who has to borrow its way into oblivion just in order to exist, how do they go around and bully everybody in the world? I am appalled. It just don't make sense. It's just not intelligent. I'm not going to sit here and try to crack my head and mind trying to to see if it makes any sense or not, but it's just not logical. It's nonsensical, as a matter of fact. And of course, me and you Americans out there don't know that China's already done bought up 1/4 of the land of the United States of America. Could be 1/3. So now the media is demonizing this Snowden guy for basically telling on the United States. Now, I just saw an interview there with RT, who just got finished talking to John Kerry, another skull and bones crony, said that, we surveilling and we're after terrorism. Now, first of all, who is this terrorist? And what is this terrorism? Because terrorism has no name, it has no face, and it has no location. The only thing that's communicated to me is that whatever the powers that be, United States of America, and whoever they say, United States of America, is a terrorist, that's who they are going to go after. And it could be you and I. That's why we're lated by 2020 to have over 30,000 drones flying over the United States, so-called sovereign free country of America. And I told you, when they made the Patriot Act, it was an act against the patriots. Everything's terrorism. Everything's terrorism. How about they using fear to get people to give up more of their civil, and I'm going to use it very carefully, that word civil liberties, because when you're free, you're free. You're born free. You are free. It just depends on how much you're going to tolerate and put up with. And no wonder a lot of people are opting for death rather than to live under tyranny. And of course, this idiot, John Kerry, just got finished basically saying on the interview, you know, he puts his foot so deep into his mouth that I don't even think it can surgically be removed. He basically just flat out said that we're spying on the universities in China. But you know, these Greeks and these Romans, they are deceivers. That's what they are. They are deceivers. They play on words. They don't even believe what they're selling and saying. They don't even know what they're trying to say. But it looks like Snowden is in good hands, and you ain't gonna be able to easily bully Russia and China with your propaganda and all this other crap. Because America, you're on your way down. That's why, well, we give up criminals and stuff. Yeah, but you don't give up criminals that's committed espionage against your country, though, do you? No, you don't. You don't give up criminals or people, so-called criminals, labeled as criminals, because the American people think that this Snowden is a hero. It's the government that thinks he's criminal. And the reason why the government thinks he's criminal, because he has some information that will, the United States government already does not have any credibility whatsoever. This has got to be the worst administration. I thought the Bush administration was the worst that ever hit the history of mankind. But this Obama administration, it makes the Bush administration pale in comparison to this Obama administration, because this has got to be the worst presidential administration in the history of the universe. Ali said it best. No, I don't want to get up and drive this plane when I know it's getting ready to crash. Go figure it out. But Snowden is in good hands. Matter of fact, Putin says he's a free man. Now you have to watch it, because the United States of America has CIA and implants in Russia. And if this guy comes up jacked up, or all of a sudden he's got concrete boots floating over there in some body of water, know that the man did not commit suicide. No, he didn't either. He's got some information that the United States government decided to turn all their energy using your taxpayer dollars to go after, simply because they don't want any more of their corruption exposed. What's the difference anyway? The United States is proven a liar again and again and again and again. They cannot keep their word. They have broken every single treaty that they have ever made. They have jacked every single person from another head of state, from another country that has came over and so-called befriended the United States of America. You people of the world, especially you people over in the East, you come and shake hands with these devils over here, it's only a matter of time before we come and bomb and jack and kill your innocent civilians in your country. You don't believe me? Ask Osama bin Laden, ask Saddam Hussein, and ask Muammar Gaddafi. And then, and now understand is that Americans picked their fights very carefully, because over in Tiananmen Square, when all that mess was going on, you didn't see America going over there sticking their nose over in China's business, did you? You know why? Because we pick our fights very carefully. After all, is that not a crime against humanity? And what's going on over in the Congo, and what's going on over in that continent called Africa right now? Where's the humanitarian aid at? Where's the outcry and the uproar that's going on over in that particular continent right now? You see, it's all a charade. It's all a facade. It's all a game. That's what it really truly is. And this is not about everything that they're trying to make you believe it's about. This is about rich versus poor, free versus bond. And it's all to get us to one place and one place alone. We're going back into biblical days, back at the Tower of Babel, or Babel, whatever way you want to pronounce it, depend on your vernacular. This is all about making people one and people becoming one, so they can have one ruler in this world. And there's a bunch of religions all vying for the top. Now, if they cannot become that one ruler, then they'll be glad to have a servant place, second or third in command or something like that, with the hopes of being able to be the ruler itself. And I think that's the one thing that people are missing out on, is that people are inherently highly religious. It's a fact that cannot be ignored. People choose to ignore because they think that it's going to go away from their mind. We become so callous in this generation that even if we're convicted of something, we look at it the wrong way. We call conviction an enemy. Whew, boy, we are messed up. Anyway, I hope that more of this Snowden revelations come out, because the American people believes that Snowden is a hero in spite of what our government says. You know the reason why? Because opinion polls. Nobody in America, we cannot trust the government. As soon as they open their mouth, they're lying. That's how you know a politician is lying. As soon as they open their mouth, you know that they're lying. That's all there is to it. I hope that he protects himself and guard himself. That's my own personal opinion as a so-called free American. Oh, and also know this, that Pastor Dollar is not one of them chicken hawks either. Now, I served this country, and I served it faithfully while I was in there. But I tell you the one thing I would love to take back. I love to take back those 100 and something airborne jumps as a paratrooper and actually go another direction and way, because I'm quickly approaching 50 years old, and this old body of mine is feeling it, and boy is it feeling it. So I'm looking for new revelations and new ways to try to preserve my health so I can live a quality life, because what's coming down the pipe, I think more than anything, it should be a priority in all people's lives who are informed, not the ignorant, not the dumb, the dormant, the docile, the demoralized, and the demonized, not them, but those who are informed. I think more than anything, it behooves you to take care of your health and to be in shape. And that's the truth. And that's the truth straightway.